Hello, look at the cartoons. What do you find out about the character of the detectives and the criminal? Let me read this text for you, okay? So, footprints, more footprints. I hate my magnifying glass. It's so old-fashioned. It's really unfair. The boss gives us all the uninteresting jobs. We'll never find out who did all this illegal graffiti. Hey, wait a minute, Dimwit. There is a can of spray paint. Is it a clue? This is like being invisible. Don't be stupid, Bryce. It's just a piece of rubbish. Put it in the bin. It's obviously unimportant. That was getting a bit uncomfortable. Well, it's impossible to find any clues here. There is nothing unusual at all. Let's go home and write a report. Next time, I hope we get an interesting job. So, what do you think? What do you find out about the character of detectives and their criminals? Is the detectives, or are the detectives rather, are they clever? Are they intelligent? Are they good detectives? What about the criminal? Is the criminal cheeky, intelligent, clever? As usually, I have to start from the beginning. Let me do it. A second. Right. Now, look at the answer. Possible answers are: the detectives are useless, bezużyteczni, not very clever and complain, narzekają a lot. The criminal is clever, yes. Now have a look at this table. There are some missing words, and your task would be to find more examples of negative prefixes in the cartoons and complete the table. Now let me look at the answer directly. Mamy różne prefiksy, które zaprzeczają przymiotnik. Może to być an, dis, im, in, il i ir. Now, najbardziej popularny będzie prefiks an. Dis, im, in, il, ir są rzadsze. Popatrzmy, do jakich przymiotników możemy go używać. Happy, unhappy, fair, unfair, interesting, uninteresting, important, unimportant, comfortable, uncomfortable, usual, unusual. This, honest, uczciwy, dishonest, nieuczciwy, pleased, zadowolony, displeased, niezadowolony. Patient, cierpliwy, impatient, niecierpliwy. Possible, impossible, niemożliwy. Correct, incorrect, visible, invisible, nieprawidłowy, niewidoczny. Logical, legal, illogical, illegal, nielogiczny, nielegalny. Responsible, regular, irresponsible, irregular, nieodpowiedzialny, nieregularny. Kolejne zadanie będzie dotyczyć wykorzystania tej tabelki przy jednoczesnym stworzeniu pewnej reguły, bo jak to są z regułami zwykle, są zawsze jakieś wyjątki. Dobrze, męczymy się tu z tym programem, ale już wracamy. Ok, the most common, najbardziej popularny negative prefix to będzie an. Z nim spotkaliśmy się już dużo wcześniej, mówiąc happy, unhappy, na przykład friendly, unfriendly. If the adjective begins with the sound P, jeżeli przymiotnik rozpoczyna się od dźwięku P, we usually, zwykle, ale nie zawsze, zwykle dodaje się, oh sorry, it comes back again, doesn't let us work here. Które z proponowanych rozwiązań. Za chwilkę zobaczycie. Oh dear. I'm doing my best, but what can I do? Okay. Mamy tutaj do wyboru przy literce P il, im, okay. The correct answer is in. Na przykład w słówku in słówku impolite, impossible. If the adjectives begin with the sound R, we usually add, yes, we usually add ir, and example is irrelevant, nieodpowiedni. If the adjective begins with the sound L, we usually add, what do you think? Okay, ill, example, illegible. Now the questions for you. If I was invisible, I would, gdybym była niewidzialna, to zrobiłabym to czy tamto. Try to answer these questions. If I was invisible, I would. The most impossible thing I've ever done was. Najbardziej niemożliwa rzecz, jaką kiedykolwiek zrobiłam, to było. One unusual place I'd like to see is. If I saw someone doing something illegal, I would. One really uninteresting film I've watched is. Let's now watch the video and see what the people answer.
Finish the sentences. If I was invisible, I would.
If I was invisible, I'd play tricks on my friends.
If I was invisible, I'd sneak into a concert for free.
If I was invisible, I would run onto the football pitch during the Champions League final and score a goal.
If I was invisible, I would go and eat at the most expensive restaurants in London.
The most impossible thing I've ever done was.
The hardest thing I've ever done is run a half marathon.
The most impossible thing I've ever done is to stay awake for 3 days in a row.
The most impossible thing I've ever done was my driving test. Mostly because of nerves. I was terrified the night before and drove onto the curb.
The most impossible thing I've ever done was traveling to Chile on my own.
And mine was moving to London by myself at age 18.
One unusual place I'd like to see is.
One unusual place I'd like to see is the Orkney Islands.
One unusual place I'd like to see is Iceland.
One unusual place I'd like to see is like a haunted house.
If I saw someone doing something illegal, I would.
If I saw someone doing something illegal, I'd perform a dramatic citizen's arrest.
If I saw somebody doing something illegal, I would run away quickly.
One really uninteresting film I've watched is.
One uninteresting movie I've seen is Life of Pi.
One really uninteresting film I've watched is the Christmas flick, The Holiday.
One uninteresting movie I've watched is Avatar.
Okay. Jeszcze zdążyliśmy podczas lekcji zrobić parę ćwiczeń powtórzeniowych. So this person still thinks from people's pockets or bags. Who is it? It's pickpocket. This person tries to discover who has committed a crime. It's a detective. This is a crime where a person breaks into the buildings to steal things. It's a burglary. This person sees a crime and can say what happened. It's a witness. A piece of information that helps to solve a crime. It's a clue. And a building where criminals go to for punishment. It's a prison or a jail, czyli więzień. Reward, nagroda. Uncomfortable, niewygodny. Shoplift, kradzież w sklepie. Fingerprints, odciski palców. Murders, morderstwa. And cameras. Okay, did you know most murders happen on Monday? The most popular items that people shoplift, okay, electric toothbrushes, that I found interesting, and smartphones. The best fingerprints are often found on soap or cheese. It's hard to believe, isn't it? There are about 25 million cameras around the world. On average, a person is seen 300 times a day. That's interesting. Przeciętnie osoba jest widziana 300 razy dziennie because there are so many cameras around. The police in the USA offered $5 million reward for paintings that were stolen from art gallery. The paintings are still missing. It isn't always uncomfortable in prison. That's another interesting story. One prison in Norway, for example, offers cottages and relaxing activities such as fishing and horse riding. Well, Norway is a strange country, isn't it? Okay, and the last one which we managed to do is exercise connected with grammar, present simple passive, strona bierna czasu teraźniejszego. W tym zadaniu a lot of TV programs, przypominamy sobie, że stroną bierną tworzymy przez is albo are i trzecią formę czasownika. Dla make to będzie made, ponieważ mamy liczbę mnogą, a więc are made. So, as easy as this. The jewelry, trzecia forma od hide, is hidden in the secret place. Great crime books, liczba mnoga, a więc are written by ex-detectives. A lot of criminals, liczba mnoga, are caught, trzecia forma catch, caught. Fingerprints powder is used, use jest czasownikiem regularnym, to detect fingerprints. A lot of stolen items, liczba mnoga, więc are, trzecia forma sold. Jeszcze zadanie, w którym będziemy używać past simple passive. Zrobiliśmy tylko pytania, później możecie sobie przeczytać tekst i na pytania odpowiedzieć. So when past simple passive to tym razem czas przeszły, więc zamiast are, were, zamiast is, was. Man, liczba pojedyncza, a więc when was the man arrested, czasownik arrest, czasownik regularny. When was the man arrested? Kiedy został mężczyzna zaresztowany? Where? Ta sama historia. When was the man found? Find, found. Ok. Trzecia forma od hide, czyli what was hidden under the man's jacket. Co było schowane pod jakietem tego mana. Why were the cakes stolen? Cakes, liczba mnoga, a więc nie was, tylko were. Why were the cakes stolen? Już samodzielnie bardzo proszę, żebyście przeczytali sobie tekst, który macie w podręczniku, a następnie na ten tekst odpowiedzieli. Natomiast na zadanie domowe proszę, żebyście zrobili ćwiczenia ze strony 95. Okay, that's all for today. Bye.